Hey guys, my name is Jazz. Welcome to my channel for those of you that are new here. Today I'm going to be taking you through a little glute and core focused Mat Pilates workout. No equipment is needed, however if you would like some light dumbbells, maybe a 1 or 2 kg, and you want to add them in for your leg and your core work, then feel free. We're going to get going. We're going to come and start in a child's pose. So come and meet me on the mat. We want to take the knees nice and wide, put the feet together, and then just walk those hands forwards as you press the hands down. Let the forehead rest into your mat and just start to let everything soften beneath you. Letting those hips sink back into those heels. We're just going to start with a little bit of breath work. I want us to take a nice deep inhale through those lungs. Feel the chest rise and press into the side of that rib cage. And as you exhale, just let everything sink into that mat beneath you. Letting those hips press a little bit further into those heels. Just starting to feel that spine stretch through the back. And you're just keeping that focus on your breath for these first few moments. Finding the start of that core activation through your inhale and exhale. As you inhale, we want to bring as much air into those lungs as we can. And as you exhale, just let the jaw start to soften. Let those shoulders melt away from the ears. Create that length through the spine. We're here for a final few moments here, just breathing into that stretch. Bringing that presence into the body and into the space. On this next inhale, I want you to take the deepest breath in of the session, yeah? And you're going to hold that breath at the top. Filling those lungs with air. Can you hold it there for 3, 2, and 1. Take a nice big exhale to release. Let all that tension leave the body. Leave it on the mat. You're going to start to take those hands just shoulder distance apart. You're going to lift the hips from the heels and you're going to walk yourself forwards into a 4-point kneel. So we want to stack the knees under the hips and stack the wrists under those shoulders. We're going to start by finding just a bit of a cat and cow stretch. As you inhale, you're going to round the belly, drawing it into the top of the spine as you arch through the back. And as you exhale, soft bend the elbows, so let the belly drop all the way down as you lift your chest, finding that stretch through the abdominal muscles. Then we can take it into the range of movement that just feels comfortable for you today. But if we can, we want to take it into that full extension and flexion, feeling that full stretch through the spine, just waking up the body here. Using that breath in to scoop through the belly, press heavy into those hands, feel that full stretch through the shoulders, and then you exhale, let everything release. Final 2 like this. Lovely, and that last one. Give me that inhale as you scoop through the abs, and on your exhale, just start to soften that spine into its neutral position, allowing that back to rest in its natural shape, but thinking about lifting and wrapping the ribcage in around from here. You're going to tuck the toes underneath, and we're going to start by finding a 4-point hover. On your exhale, you're going to lift those knees an inch off the mat, find that squeeze, and then inhale, tap them down. So we want to exhale, lift the knees and hold those knees as we empty the lungs completely. Inhale as we lower, and we're here for 6. Really thinking about lifting out of the shoulders here, creating as much space between your mat and your eyelid as you can. Keeping this going, we're here for 4 more. We're going to start to layer this hover up. If this feels comfortable for you and you feel like you just want to keep this going, we stick here. Next time we lift the knees, we're going to hold that hover and we're going to start to extend that right leg back, finding that full plank as you step that second leg. Now we want to keep the hips nice and still, and you're going to start to walk the knees back under those hips to your hover before lowering down. So you exhale, find that scoop to lift. 1 step at a time back into your plank, walking back through to that hover to lower. We are here for 5 more. Keeping that focus on the breath. The moment you lift those knees, we want to find that hug around the rib cage. Imagine you've got a string pulling the belly button up to the top of that back, keeping it nice and engaged. We're here for 2 more. Keeping that going. Using that breath. Eye lines through the thumbs, and on this next one, you're going to press the legs back to find that plank and hold it here. You're going to start to pike the hips up to the ceiling as you take that stretch into your downward dog, making sure those heels are lifted nice and high. And on your exhale, start to round the spine forwards as you shift your weight back into your plank. So you're finding that downward dog to plank variation. Inhale as you scoop through the belly, send those hips up. Exhale, find that release as you ripple forwards back out to your plank. Every time we want to find that plank, we want to make sure those hips and shoulders are in line. And we want to keep those heels lifted as high as we can. We're here for 2 more like this. And your exhale. Keep that belly button pulled in as you find that plank. On your next one, as you round the belly forwards, find that plank, you're going to hold it here. You're going to draw the heels together, make sure those knees are turning out. And on your inhale, you're going to start to press back with the hips, down into that stretch, and then forwards back into your full plank. So the knees are opening wide as you press the hips down, feeling that stretch through the shoulders, and exhale as you push everything back forwards to your plank. We are here for 4. You should really start to feel those quads waking up now, taking that engagement all the way through the bottom of the legs, straight up into those abs and shoulders, full body starting to warm up. Last 2. Last one. As you press up into this plank, can you give me that hold at the top here? Holding it here just for your final 8, 7. Lifting up those shoulders, scooping through the abs for 5, 4, we're done in 3, 2, lower those knees on 1, really nice guys. Push back into your child's pose stretch and just take a little flex and extension through the wrists here. Bringing that focus back into those deep breaths. Lovely, now you should start to feel a little bit warmer. We're going to walk our hands in towards the knees and you're just going to shuffle yourself into the mat if you've come off there, I have. We're going to start in a low nail and we're going to come into a little bit of high nail and arm work. I want us to draw the elbows into our side. You're going to turn the palms up to the ceiling. If you're working with those lighter dumbbells, feel free to grab them here. We want to keep the knees pressed up to the sides to keep that engagement on the glutes. And as you exhale, you're going to squeeze up through the legs and you're going to press the hips forwards as the arms extend. Draw the elbows back in as the hips lower down. We want to take our eye line over those palms down towards our mat. So we're finding a slight hinge with the upper body on your inhale and lower. Exhale as you press the palms forward, squeeze and tuck the glutes. Inhale, press it down. We're here for 8. Now everything should feel a little bit warmer in that body. So those glute muscles should feel a bit more switched on and engaged. If it's first thing in the morning, you'll definitely be feeling it by now. If you're midway through your day, this might be quite a nice energy boosting warm up and exercise for you. Now we're here for 2 more and we're going to start to layer this same high nail up. Next time you press and find your high nail, hold it here. You're going to take a thigh stretch. So you're going to keep that position stacked from the head down to the knees and you're going to start to find just a slight hinge from those knees back as far as you can until you feel that stretch on the front of the thighs. We're going to inhale, press the weight forward, draw the elbows all the way back in as you lower down. So we find that hold in our high nail. We take one hinge back as far as we can with that thigh stretch and then drop it back down. We're here for 6. Reminding yourself just to choose that layer that works for you. Don't feel like you need to take it if you don't want to. Last 3 here. Nice, keeping that going. Keeping that long diagonal line from the head down to the kneecaps in that thigh stretch. We want to think about keeping the glutes engaged, keeping that belly button wrapping in. Final one here. Nice. Now the next time you come all the way up, you're going to hold that high nail. Holding here, you're going to start to sweep the arms up and take that thigh stretch at the same time. You sweep the hands down as the knees rock forwards, all the way up. As you sweep those hands, we are here for 5. Ooh, you're going to feel that burn building on the front of those thighs. Last 3. Nice. If we're in that high nail, really focusing on just that sweep of the arms up and down if we're not choosing that second layer. Now on your next one, as we find that hinge back, can we hold with the arms extended above our head, holding here just for 8, 7, 6, we've got it, 5, breathe, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, bring that down. Lovely. Come and rest on your low nail. Give the thighs a little rub. Okay. We're going to come and step straight forwards into a lunge from here. So
You're going to come from your high kneeling, and you're going to step your left foot forwards, wrapping the toes underneath your nut mat, and then come into a full stand. Now we want to make sure the hip bones are square. You want to soft bend that front knee and keep your back leg in extension to start. Those hands are just mounting down by your sides. Now your eye line's forwards, and again we've got that same step from the head down to the lower tailbone. As you inhale, you're going to start to bend the back knee. You're going to slowly sink down into your lunge, lowering that knee as close as you can to your mat as the arms sweep up, and then take an exhale as you come back to that full stretch. So we inhale, bend as we sink the hips low. Exhale, find that press down through the arms as you reach tall. Nice. Using that breath, we are here for 4. Now again, same thing. We're going to layer this lunge up. So just feel comfortable working with the layer that suits you today. Give me one more like this, getting as much depth in that back knee as you can, keeping that length through the spine. You're going to come down on this next one and we're going to hold it here. Holding that bend, you're going to start to draw the elbows in. As you hinge forward, your back leg straightens. You're taking that little hinge and look over the front knee. You're going to press the arms back up to lengthen as you drop the back knee down. Full stretch as you stand tall. So we sweep and hold. We stay low, back leg stretches. Take that hinge with the body forwards. Press through the palms to lengthen and all the way up to stand. That is that second layer. You're going to feel a little bit more activation and work coming into that front glute behind you now. As you're hinging, I want you to imagine you've got someone pulling you by that back hip towards the back wall. And press. Last 2. Last one here. Keeping it going. Keeping that focus on the breath. Keeping everything stretched long from those hands down to the fingertips, through the toes. Now you're going to find that hinge here and hold. Holding your hinge, you're going to extend just the arms forwards and all the way back in as the elbows tuck to the side of that rib cage. We are here for 8. Now that focus is on your floor in front of the toes. We're keeping the spine lovely and long. You've got the option to start to add on a step of that right foot in and back here with those arms. We are here for a final 5. Option to find that tap of that right toe in and out for 4. And squeeze, lovely. 3, keeping that chest lifted. Belly button drawing in. 2. Last 1. We're going to step that right foot back, draw the elbows in and hold. Can you give me a tiny bend and stretch in that standing leg? Final 8. 7, we've got it. 6, push through that burn. Last 4. 3, 2, come all the way up. On 1, unfold those arms. Whew. Come to find parallel. Let the body just fold forwards over those feet here. Just take a little walk of those heels. Take a stretch out through the back of the hamstring. Nice. Now you're going to keep the left leg extended. Right knee is going to soft bend and you're going to let the left hand open up to the ceiling. Take that stretch through the left leg. Nice deep breath in and out. And a final exhale as you close both hands down. Now I want us to come back into that kneeling position, but this time your left knee is going to come down and your right leg is going to extend long. So we're still working that left leg. Nice. From here, you're going to take the hands down in front of you and you're going to come all the way onto your side. Now the left elbow is going to drop down. You want the elbow directly underneath the shoulder and the knees and feet want to come together. We're stacking the hips, so we're going to make sure that top hip isn't rolling backwards. And you've got 2 options with that right hand. It can come onto the hip or it can come onto the mat in front of you. Now keeping the knees and feet glued together, I want you to lift just the feet off of that mat. So your pressure's through that bottom leg and through the knees. As you exhale, you're going to start to open that top knee all the way up to the ceiling without the hips rotating. We inhale, we close the knees back together. Exhale as you squeeze that right glute muscle, find that open press, and inhale to lower. So we're really focusing on keeping those hips as stacked as they can. What we don't want as the knee opens is to let that top hip roll backwards. We're going to lose that engagement otherwise. So make sure we're lifting, we're keeping that weight over the top. Nice, adding that on. We are here for 3. Using that breath. Finding that press for 2. Now you should feel that bottom glute activated the whole time underneath you as those feet are staying hovering. On your next one, you're going to open the top knee and hold it here. You're going to start to extend that right leg long, and you've got the option to take a stretch of that right arm up to the ceiling at the same time. You're going to lower the hand as the feet come together and then draw the knees back. We lift and hold. Keep that squeeze on the glute as you extend. Bring it back down and close. 5 more like this. Now that hand can stay down on the mat or the hip if you need that little bit of extra stability. And you want to try and create as much stretch through the leg here, from the hip all the way out of those toes. So you're feeling that full engagement through that right glute. Now on your next one, you're going to extend the leg long and you're going to hold it here. Option to keep the hand lifted, or it can come back onto that hip. You're going to start to flex the foot. Take an inhale as you sweep the leg forwards in front of your hip. Exhale, point the toe, sweep it all the way back. Really nice. You're going to feel a little bit more burn in that right glute now. Left glute is working hard still underneath you to keep that foot hovering. If that feels a little bit too much, we can drop that foot down. Okay. Nice. Now if your hand and arm is extended, you're going to start to add in a second layer. Your hand is going to stay where it is as the leg sweeps forwards, and as you point the toe to sweep back, you're going to start to take a twist through the body as that hand reaches over the left elbow. We then sweep the arm up as the leg sweeps forwards. We sweep the hand over down to the mat as it sweeps back. We are here for 5 more. Breathing through it. Should really start to feel that glute wake up now. If it's not already, then we've got very strong glutes. Last 2. And sweep. Now on your next one, as that leg sweeps back in line with your hip, you're going to hold it here. If your right arm is reaching over the head, I want you to hold that eye line down to your mat. You're going to give me a tiny pulse of that leg up and down for a final 8, 7, 6. Both glutes should be on fire. Last 5. Keep it going. 4. Stay with me. We're going to hold it on this next one. Lift and hold. Hold in here for a final 5. 4. Can we lift and squeeze higher for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back down. Nice. Come up onto that hand. Just give the shoulder a nice big roll. Lovely. Gonna come into a mermaid stretch. Just bring that left knee forwards. Wrap that right knee back behind your hip. Make sure both the hip bones are square. Take the left hand down by your side and reach the right arm all the way over the head. And if the elbow could drop, take that full extension through the side of the ribcage here. Pressing that right hip bone down into your mat. Take a nice big breath in as you reach back over. And then we're going to come and face the side. You're going to come onto your back. So nice and slowly, bring your feet close to your glutes in parallel as you lower yourself down. Now it's our first time lying on the mat, so just want you to notice how the back is feeling now that we're on our side. You're going to take the hand down either side of those hips. Let the shoulders run away from those ears. Just take a few deep breaths here into your mat. Inhaling through the ribcage. Exhale, let that belly button pull in and down. Just bringing that focus back into the body for these next few breaths. Really deepening that inhale through the lungs, through that diaphragm. Exhale, let everything melt into that floor. Now you're going to slowly take the hands and you're going to take them behind the base of that neck, interlocking the fingers, and then keeping the elbows nice and wide so the very ends of your elbows are touching your mat. You're going to keep your feet exactly where they are. And I want you to think about drawing your lower belly button down in towards your floor. So you're almost closing that space underneath the lower spine. Now as you exhale, you're going to keep your elbows lifted and wide. You're going to start to scoop through the belly as you lift the chest forwards, finding that ab curl. We inhale as we lower the head back down, elbows staying wide. Exhale, find that scoop to lift. Nice. Now we're coming into that slow, controlled curl. We're going to also layer this ab curl up. We're here for 5 more, just like this. Now with that ab curl, it's really easy to take the tension into the neck and use the head to lift forwards. I want you to try and keep the head resting into those palms as much as you can, and we're just using the abdominals. So you want to think about sliding the rib cage down towards those hips as you lift the chest. We're going to start to add on a second layer. Now on your next exhale, as you lift the chest forwards, can you bring that right leg into tabletop at the same time? Inhale, lower the foot, tap it down as you lower. Exhale, we're going to lift that left leg. And straighten on that second side. So we're just taking that single leg march on and off our mat as we find our calm. We're here for 6. Again, if that leg feels a little bit too much for you, we don't have to take it. Keeping it going. We're here for 4 more, nice and slow with that control. Making sure the knee is just staying stacked above the hip as you curl up. We don't want to bring it too close into the chest. We don't want to cheat, basically. Lovely. Now we're going to add on a final layer. The next time, you're going to take that lift in your chest and you're going to lift the right leg to tabletop and hold it here. Holding that right leg in tabletop. Can we start to rotate that left elbow over to the right knee? You're going to bring it back to center and then lower it down as the foot taps down. We do the same on the left side. We exhale, scoop to lift the chest. We hold as we rotate over to that right elbow, that right knee, sorry. We inhale as we lower down. Adding that on. Keeping that going. Now as we rotate through the obliques, we want to think about twisting through the center of the torso, and that leads the elbows to follow. So we don't want to think about moving just the elbows and the arms. We want that movement to come through the center of the body. And down. Final 2 like this. Lovely. Now on your next one, you're going to curl up. You're going to lift the left leg to tabletop. And as you find that twist, you're going to hold that rotation. Holding here, can we start to extend that left leg long and then bring it back to tabletop? We're aiming to keep that right shoulder blade lifted off of our mat. So you're finding that twist and holding it here. You've got the option to extend that right arm forwards as that left leg extends and then bring it back behind the head as the knee bends. Final 4 like this. Last 3, keep it going, we've got it. 4, 2. Now you're going to extend that leg on 1 and hold that leg extended. Can you give me a tiny reach forwards with those abs, an inch reaching those fingers long and back for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, nearly there, 2 and 1. Bring it back down to your mat. Whew, take a nice deep breath in. Just find your center, keep the hands exactly where they are. We're going to finish on that second side. So you're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to scoop through the belly, lift that chest, we're going to hold it here. Now the right leg's going to stay lifted. You're going to find that rotation and hold. You're going to start to extend that right leg long and then bring the knee back to tabletop. And we want to keep the hips nice and square and grounded, just that left shoulder blade lifted off that mat as the elbow reaches for the knee. You've got the option to extend the arm long as the leg extends, bringing that hand back to the head as you bend the knee. We're here for a final 4. Breathing through it, choose that layer that works for you. Last 2. We've got 1 more here. As that leg extends, can we reach the arm long and hold? Take a tiny reach forwards through the chest. Final 8, 7, 6, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax on 1. Guys, if your abs are on fire, I don't know what you're doing. We're going to lengthen the arms and legs, take a full body stretch. That should feel nice on those abs. Breathe into that stretch here. Let everything heavy into that mat. Inhale as you stretch long, stretching through those limbs. And exhale, everything relaxes. Nice. Now we are going to slowly roll ourselves up to seated. So we're going to keep the legs long. You're going to stretch the arms just above that chest with the fingers stretched and extended. You're going to take a deep breath in, make sure the shoulder blades are drawing back to your mat. On your exhale, you're going to lead with the hands. You're going to tuck your chin to your chest. Start to curl all the way up through the abdominals. lengthening through the body at the top and just taking a fold forwards over those knees down towards the toes. Feeling that stretch through the lower back, down through those hip flexors and hamstrings. Breathing into that stretch, if you can, soften the elbows. Nice. Now we're going to slowly take a roll up to seated. We're going to come onto our side on the other leg. So we're going to spin our feet around. I'm going to tend to face you, so I'm not facing away. We're going to bring the right elbow down into our mat this time. Elbow wants to stack directly underneath the shoulder. That second hand can stay on the hip or down to our floor. You're going to stack the hips, bring those knees and those feet together. Now from here, I want us to lift those heels off of our mat. So you're keeping that tension in both glutes. On your exhale, you're going to start to press that top knee up to the ceiling as you open through the hip. Inhale as that knee closes back down to center. So you're just taking it nice and slow and controlled. Now we're activating that left glute muscle again. We've not done that lunge just yet, so you are going to feel a little bit more work. Lovely, keeping that going. Now you've got the option to keep that hand on the hip. Keeping that hand on the hip might just allow you to find a little bit more mind to muscle connection here. Making sure that those hips stay square as you rotate from the knee. Using that exhale, full squeeze. Now the next time that knee lifts, can we hold the knee rotated up? You're going to start to extend that leg long, keeping that hover of the leg. You then bring the feet back together, close the knee down. That is your second layer. You've got the option to add in that unfold of the arm here. Back down to the hip as you close, or just keep it resting on that mat for a little bit more stability. We're here for 4 more like this. Using that breath. Nice. Those glutes should start to be feeling a little bit more fired up now. I want you to imagine you've got a ball underneath that ribcage at the same time. We want to keep that lift of the right side and torso away from our mat. Now the next time you lift the leg, you're going to extend and hold it here. Option to keep that arm unfolded. You're going to start to flex the foot. Now keeping that leg hovering, we start to sweep the foot forwards. You're going to point the toe and sweep the leg all the way back in line with your hip. If your hand is above the head, we take that sweep over and down to the right corner of our mat. Find that twist through the belly. Inhale as you flex, sweep the leg forwards. Exhale, point to sweep all the way back and over with that rotation. We are here for 6. Now, if you can keep that leg lifted a little bit higher whilst maintaining that stack of the hips, try and push yourself. See if you can really find that squeeze in the glute. You might find that one feels a little bit more flexible than the other. Last 2. Really nice, guys. Keep it going. Last one. We're going to twist and hold as that leg presses back. Holding that lift up the shoulder. Give me a tiny pulse of that left leg up and down. 8. Woo. You definitely feel that burn. No props even needed. Last 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to lift and hold the leg lifted on 1. Can we hold it there just for 5? 4, keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Give that a little rub. This is when, if you have your dumbbell, give it a little punch if you need. Go on, I know it's right in there. Okay, you're going to turn back into your 4-point kneel. Now, just come and rest on those heels. Take a nice big roll of the shoulders all the way back and down to those hips, just releasing those muscles here through the joint. We've done a little bit of forearm work. We're going to come back into that standing position to finish with our right leg lunge. So you're going to sweep the right foot forwards. You're going to curl the toes underneath and come to that full standing position. Now, making sure here your hips are still square. If you've got a mirror in front of you, making sure those hip bones are shining forwards. You're going to keep that back heel lifted as high as you can with that full extension in your back leg. Hands are going to start down by your sides. Inhale as you bend the back knee, sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale, woo, to stand tall. Like you've got a wall next to me. One side always feels slightly different compared to the other, guys. So just listen to your body, tune in with that breath, make sure we're lifting through the abs. Everything wants to stay activated. Nice, keeping that going. and your sweep. Now we're going to start to layer this one up. The next time we come down, can we hold? You're going to start to find that hinge of the upper body forwards, elbows pressing as your back leg straightens. You sweep the arms up as the knee bends, you then come all the way back to that tall standing. We lower and hold, back leg extends, hinging forwards, but we stay low, so that tension is all in that front glute, in that quad. Use your breath here. Last 4 like this. Goodness me. You really do feel it. Keep it going. And 2. That right glute should really feel fired up now on that hinge. As you hinge, imagine simple ones pulling you back by those hips into the wall behind you. Getting that full activation and stretching the glute underneath. Now on your next one, you're going to come down and hold your hinge. Back leg stays long. Think about lifting the chest up and over those knees. You're going to sweep the arms forwards and back in. Just the arms for 8. Using that squeeze. If you've got those dumbbells, good luck to you. If we want to challenge ourselves here, we start to add that step of our left foot in as the arms press and then back as the elbows bend. Final 6, choosing that optional progression. Last 4. Front foot is frozen in place. All of that work is on your right glute. Last 2. You're going to hold on 1, draw the elbows in, step the left foot back, keep that heel lifted, tiny pulse down and up. Final 8. Stay with me. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it all the way down. Whew, on 1. Let that body fold forwards, guys. That should feel very nice on that glute. Whew. Let the elbows just soften, let the shoulders mat away from the ears. Just take a little walk of those heels on and off of that mat. You might find that those muscles are warm. We might be able to find a deeper stretch into those muscles, into the joints now. You're going to soft bend your left knee as you extend the right leg and then sweep the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Find that long stretch through the body. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. On that exhale, can you deepen that stretch? Take a final breath in here. Start to fold that hand back down. Bend both of your knees and just kind of meet me back on your mat. We're going to finish with a little stretch and some breath work. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together, press the knees wide and open. Come and lie yourself all the way down onto your back and onto your mat. This time, I want you to take the hands either side of your mat as the palms turn up to the ceiling. Now keeping that butterfly stretch, just start to tune into that breath again. Now those muscles are nice and warm, worked hard. So you're just going to really take those moments to breathe. You're going to start to relax all the muscles behind the face, through the jaw, and just working down the body, down the chest, the hips, the knees, all the way out of those fingers and toes. On your exhale, let everything melt into that mat beneath you. Just allowing a little bit of time for that body to regulate. Bring that focus back into the presence and into the breath. And try to use that exhale just to release any tension that you still feel like you're holding on to in your body. Maybe behind the eyes, through the jaw, into those hips. You're going to take a final deep breath in on this next inhale, and I want us to hold that breath in at the top. Deepest breath in yet, and at the top of that breath, can we hold as we take in one more sip of air? Can we hold it there for 3, 2, and 1. Let everything go beneath you. Now in your own time, just start to slowly extend the legs long. You're going to take a stretch through the arms all the way up to the ceiling. You're going to take a final breath in, and on that exhale, start to lower the hands, scoop through the belly, come to roll all the way back up onto your mat. And give yourselves a little clap, guys. Well done. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed the session. like, comment and share anything you have below. Let me know what you like to see next, and I will see you guys soon.